Alright gang, welcome back to our Vanilla Survival Challenge with the Twist here on Maypole Farm. It is October now, and as you can clearly tell, I've been relatively busy. And we got a lot of trees down here that need to be brought back over to the other side. And we're going to do that soon, but I've also been a lot busier than what it may seem just by looking at these trees and by the stumps that I've chopped down. If we turn around, you'll truly see the massive amount of trees that I have knocked down. We still have a long way to go, honestly. We've got all these trees in here, but the edge of our land is within sight. This is the edge of our land, so we are getting closer, right? Some of the trees that we've knocked down are getting close to touching the edge of our land here, so we definitely have made some progress, but we've got a long way to go still. This cluster mess over here has been just an absolute disaster of trying to get these branches off. It has not been the most fun thing in the world, but we're going to keep at it trying to knock some of these down. There's just so many of these trees inside of each other that at some point you start falling down and on top of other trees, and it just becomes a mess, and you can't really see what you're doing or where you're going for that matter. But yeah, we're making some really strong progress in my opinion here. We've got a long way to go, but nonetheless, we've actually been able to at least remove quite a few trees. We've got a tiny bit more money probably than where you left off in the last episode. I have sold some of those trees already, but clearly I have not sold all of the trees yet, so there's still some work to be done here. But nonetheless, we are moving along, cruising along nicely here, so I'm not sure I specifically need to bring any more of these back out here yet. I just figured I would start chopping a lot of these down ahead of time. Just mostly to save us a little bit of time. So that's what I've done. It has taken an absolute eternity to do that, so it may not seem like it, but it is taking a very long time to get all of these chopped down and moved over here. So, and I can't get rid of that branch for some reason. I don't know why, but alright, we'll leave it be, I guess. We'll see if we can get rid of this guy. There we go. Cool. Alright, so we're going to start bringing these guys across the road here. Now, full transparency to you, I have turned off the traffic once again. I did that off camera, and honestly, I think I'm just going to leave it off right now. Even with chopping them in half, I was trying to bring them across, and the cars just kept running into me 9 times out of 10, and the branches would go flying everywhere. The tractor would go flying up in the air, and I was getting stuck. I had to reset it a couple of times. So maybe a little unrealistic with not having the cars going, but until we are able to, I guess, get most of this out of the way, I'm just going to turn the cars off for now, just because it actually is harming the whole playthrough, right? The cars are making it so I'm not able to actually do this playthrough as we were expecting and hoping to do. So yeah, I've turned them off for the time being, so that's why you're not seeing any cars go by. They will be back on, though, as soon as we get, all of this sorted out. Now, it has been a struggle. The tractor is not having an easy time, I guess, pulling these trees across the way. Now, I could chop these in half and probably be a little bit easier, but I have, kind of figured out, at least from the sawmill perspective, it gives me the same amount regardless if I chop them in half or if I bring them over as a full tree. So, just for time-saving purposes, I'm just bringing them over as an entire full tree here. Now, I will say that you do need to put a good chunk of that in the middle of the sell point. Like that would be probably pretty sufficient, but if you just have a corner of it, it doesn't seem to give you the full amount. So this should be somewhere around 3,000-4,000. Yep, there you go. Perfect. How's everyone doing today? I hope you're all doing well. Things are good here, man, all things considered. This series seems to be going well. Everyone seems to be enjoying this series, which is great. I wasn't really sure what to expect when it came to this series, since I'm doing something, quite drastic here by utilizing, vanilla stuff. Obviously the twist is just what we talked about, right? The twist is just the DLCs and anything that is included with the map, but otherwise no mods whatsoever. And since, the game's been out for so long, I wasn't really sure how this would do. But people seem to really enjoy it so far, so. And I was talking in the last episode how, once I got some more of this room cleared out, we should be able to pull these out like I just did there, right, where it's easier to cut them and maneuver them. That's kind of what I've been continuing to do here. But as you can see here, clear as day, it is a struggle to get these across the way. Some of these trees are extremely heavy. This tractor is great. It just doesn't quite have enough horsepower for what we're trying to do here. So, you know, it's a bit of a struggle, but we're making it through piece by piece. I guess one thing I could do is potentially try to already upgrade the tractor. There's no rules, as mentioned before, right? There's no rules on buying and selling. I can buy and sell whenever, however much I want to. So maybe I should consider doing that. Nice. Those big brown trees, I don't know what they are. I gotta look at them. I don't remember what they're called. They are worth a ton of money, though. They give us absolute boatloads of money. I don't remember exactly what type of tree these brown ones are here, but they're the ponderosa pine. They give us an absolute boatload of money. These longpole pines give us a lot of money too, but the longpole pines that we mostly have are not that long. These give us an absolute killing amount of money. It's amazing how much money we make off of those. Anyway, how's everyone doing today? Hope you're all doing well. Hope you had well, I guess today, let's see, when is this episode coming out? I guess this episode coming out on the day before New Year's, I think, so New Year's Eve. So hopefully you have a nice New Year's tonight. I think this is right. If it's not, it's either coming out on New Year's Day or it's New Year's Eve. Either way, Happy New Year's. That's how I'm going to put it. Let's do it that way. So it's been a real slow process, man, trying to do this. I really kind of harmed myself pretty severely here by giving myself only vanilla stuff. It's just not operating as well as it should be, I guess. So I guess what we'll do here is I want to keep trying to pull this out. It's kind of stuck underneath another tree. I think that's part of the problem here. But once we get it out of that other tree, we should be okay. Maybe. Still going to pull a tree with it, evidently, but that's fine, I guess. As soon as it hits this wall here, it should stop. Or at least should well, maybe not. I was going to say it should stop it, or at least change the... There it goes. There it goes. So I think we're definitely going to look into doing an upgrade to the tractor here, gang. I just, we've got $71,000. It's a lot of money. I'm not sure if we're going to find anything better or not. If we can't, then we're just going to have to continue here. I suspect we're probably not going to. I think most of the tractors that are going to be better than this are going to be 150-ish thousand, so we're not going to have quite enough unless we sell this with it. But, you know, obviously it would be great to not have to do that. Yeah, so this one has 171 horsepower. It's worth $57,000 at current. Used market. There is a skid steer, which would be wonderful to have. But not really for what we're doing right now, but it would be great. This harvester would be fantastic to have as well. Again, not really something we can really do right now, I don't think. So, let's see. There doesn't appear, at first glance at least, that there's anything really out here that's going to produce a hell of a lot more power for us. Maybe this Doltzfar, 89.5. That's pretty nice. That's pretty nice. The Zitor is 171, so that is definitely more horsepower for sure. A lot more horsepower. Twin wheels would probably help a little bit too. 92.5 for wide tires. I'm kind of tempted. This is what we currently have, right? I'm kind of tempted to sell ours and get that and see if it helps. Now, the problem is going to be, obviously, we're going to spend, you know, a good chunk of money doing this. Also, although not really, actually. I mean, if we sell the one we currently have, if we don't, you know, keep the Zitor, which I'm kind of saying I kind of want to, but if we sell that, we're only going to spend 30 grand, right? So it's not terrible. I think we can just buy another one. I don't think we need to get rid of this. I think we can just buy another one. It's going to mean that we're not going to have any money left. I get that. We've got plenty of trees that we've got chopped down. We should be able to make enough money to continue on here. And then maybe eventually later on down the road, maybe we do get rid of one. But, I don't know. Is there really a reason right now for me to have 2 tractors? I don't think so. And even if we get this all done, right, we're probably only going to have 1 field. Maybe we get lucky and we're able to find a second field after we're done with all of this, with the money we've got, maybe. Even then, I mean, are we really going to be utilizing 2 tractors that often? Not really. Not for a little while, at least. Not till we have like 3, 4, 5 things we have to do at the same time. We start utilizing a worker. Are we really going to need a second one? I've made my mind up. I'm going to go sell this. Oh, well, that went well. That went well. All right, I'm going to go sell this. I'm going to reset. I'm going to reset that too. Good job, C. Way to go, buddy. All right, let's go sell this tractor. And I'm going to turn the traffic back on. There's no reason to not have the traffic on if we're not doing what I'm doing. All right, let's go buy that, and hopefully it helps. I think it will. It's a little more horsepower, a little more ability probably for us to be able to pull stuff. Let's go at least take a look. That's the least we can do is take a look. I think we upgrade it, gang. I think we do. I mean, it would be great to have them both, but I think it's a smarter investment for us to do both. Or upgrade. I'm sorry, not do both. I think it's a smarter investment for us to just go ahead and upgrade. I thought it was right here, but I always forget where that stupid little icon is. Okay, so 155 to repair it. We might as well go ahead and repaint it too, since we're going to sell it. That's going to make us a lot more money. It's basically going to be an even swap here. So we'll sell that, and we're going to buy it. And if it doesn't work out as we're hoping, then, you know, it is what it is. What are we going to do, right? I'm not going to put the Pro Compact on yet. We probably will. Once we start actually putting fields in, we'll probably come and do that upgrade. But it's a super expensive upgrade. It's $15,000. So I don't really want to spend that right now. So let's go ahead and buy it. I do love a Dolzfar. It's up there for me as favorite tractors type of equipment in general. Take a look on the inside. Yeah, pretty basic, nothing crazy, as you would kind of expect. It's got a nice long nose on this thing. Now, it doesn't have any beacons, I guess, which is the only negative thing here, but, you know, that's fine. Well, we'll head back. We'll give this a shot. I'm hoping that this is able to maneuver going up that hill a little bit better than the other one did with the extra 50 horsepower that this has. All right, moment of truth. Let's see. Is this better? It better be. I don't see any reason why it wouldn't be. Well, evidently there's a little stump here that we missed in the middle. See that? I don't know how we missed that. Okay, we still can't get rid of that one for some reason. Well, I mean, so far so good. I mean, before we were down second, third gear just to try to get them across the road. Now we're cruising. I did not turn off the traffic, by the way. I forgot to do that. Well, luckily, we got across there with all those, I think, before any major issues occurred. So far, so good, man. So far, so good. This is seeming to be a lot better. Now, let's see, really, this is going to be the big test, is how they pull out of the area where we got tons of them all kind of smashed in here together. right? That's going to be the true test on, is this better or not? We want this one because this is a big dog right here. It's going to pay us a lot of money. This spruce tree. I love a spruce tree in general. I mean, it's struggling to pull it out still. I mean, let's just be fully transparent here. We're going 4 miles per hour. But, you know, it is working. So... I know you're ready to fly up on the top. Come on. All right. Need to get rid of some more of these stumps, I think, here next, very soon. Once it gets pulled out of there, I mean, we're cruising, no problem. This is much faster than what it was doing. I mean, significantly faster. So overall, the answer is yes, I'm very happy with the purchase. I think that was a much needed purchase and a good upgrade across the board. You gotta be, I mean, we gotta be completely transparent, right? We're pulling this tree out of an area that has tons of other trees and things, stumps and everything else to get stuck on, so... Alright. People might be yelling at me, but I'm going to turn the traffic back off. Let's just get these across the way here. Let's, we'll see how things go, I guess. Now, I do know one quick thing is that some of the plots of land here, we looked that up recently, right? But some of the plots of land here, they're not outrageously expensive, which is a good thing for this type of series. It's a very good thing for this type of series. Since all of the equipment we're buying is extremely expensive, most of it at least, that's going to help offset, right? It's going to help it a lot with the fact that we're going to be able to get some of the land for less than what you would on other maps, I guess is how I should put it, right? Yeah, we gotta get rid of these stumps, man. These stumps are causing mayhems. They're causing mayhem all across the board. We gotta get rid of these things. Let's see, what's going to be the easiest way to do this? I think if we go at it from this angle and then push this guy backwards and then hook into him, I think this is going to work, I think. Yeah, that should work perfectly. That's exactly what I was wanting it to do. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. This is so much faster. This is great. I should have did this off camera. Although, I wouldn't want to do something that large, like upgrading the tractor off camera without all of you. But that would have saved me probably an hour and a half of time from what I was doing. It was a pain, man, I'm telling you. Oops. A fun pain, but it was still a pain, right? When I'm making probably progress at 3 times the speed of what I was now by going with this tractor, right? It's just painful to think back on that. Okay, I tell you what, let's hook up the stump grinder. Let's get rid of some of these stumps, because we've got quite a few stumps out here. Let's try to knock some of these stumps out of here. Alright, that's gone. Alright, so let's get rid of some stumps. Big time stumps, man. Kind of have to look at it at a weird angle here, so I apologize for that, but it's a way that it works for me to see it easier is I have to go straight up in the air like that, or I got to look at it at the side like this. It's crazy to look and see how much progress we truly have made here, right? It's gonna be crazy when we actually start making this into a field. Like, this was a whole entire little mini forest or little tree section, whatever you want to call it. And now it's a crop field. I think more than likely what we're going to have to do is, I think we're going to have to either spend a ton of money on trying to level and smooth out this area to turn it into a proper crop field. Which I'm leaning towards that, like the smoothing approach. I think I'm kind of leaning towards keeping it as like a slanted hill, because the harvester should be okay on most of this hill, but there's a couple sections where I'm like, ooh, I don't know. It's going to probably struggle a bit, but it also depends on which harvester we get, right? Which would be wonderful to have that one that's in the used market, but it's just really not in our budget. It's not going to be in our budget for a while. And even if we get it, we're going to be stuck with just this one field then, and I've already mentioned that we really need to buy more than one field, right? Alright, I think we're pretty much done here at the stumps, at least the ones that I'm willing to kind of try to get. I think any closer than that, we're going to start cutting down some of these trees we have chopped, and I really, really don't want to do that, of course, for obvious reasons. Don't want to lose any of our yield. There's still quite a lot of trees we've knocked down, though, right? That's a lot of trees that we've knocked down. I'm going to leave that right here again, because we're going to be utilizing that for quite a while here, so there's really no reason to go put it away. Alright, I'd like to get this big guy out of here just because they're worth some money, right? We talked about that. So I'd like this guy, and then we can grab a couple of the smaller guys along the way. They're also very, very heavy trees, so, you know, if I try to attach too much, it's going to tell me it's too heavy. Which is the real reason why we get so much money out of them, because they're very dense trees, right? I also thought about potentially putting down some kind of like a production of some sort for some of these trees. I think the problem there is we don't really have a whole lot of flat land, so we're going to have to, you know, flatten some land out if we're going to do that, which is fine. But any of the ones that we're going to utilize, they're all vanilla, right? Except for ones that are included on the map, as mentioned. So there's not really anything that's quick. Is not the word I'm looking for. There's not anything that, you know, it's going to take a long, long time. In other words, even if we put some trees into there, it's by the time we finish getting rid of all the trees on this area, this land that we're trying to work on, it's still going to be chewing through it. And then I think we're going to be in a situation where I don't want that there anymore because I want it to be a crop field, right? But maybe we should. Maybe we should consider it. But there's not really a really good spot to put it. The only places I could think about putting something like that would be here, which would be a disaster because that's how we're getting across to here. So if I'm going to put something there, it has to be done, you know, after the field is already done. Maybe here, but again, I think this might be a bit of a disaster too. Whoa, there's a major glitching going on there. It's kind of flat here, so it could potentially work here. It does look really flat down here as well, so, but by the time we get all the way down there, we're going to be pretty much done. So I guess that wouldn't be necessarily a bad thing. Ooh, we're in another field. But yeah, I mean, it's just, I just don't think it's really in the cards right now. So let me talk you through that really quick. Since we've done a lot of tree stuff here today, let's just try to talk through a little bit here. So most of the stuff in here is super expensive, right? Very, very, very expensive. Like, we could potentially put this carpentry down, which I've thought about doing multiple times, right? This would be something that I could consider that we would be willing to do. But it doesn't really accept that much wood. It's a very small amount of wood that it accepts, right? A very, very small amount. These things we've used, they suck. That's just the truth. They suck. It takes 7-8 months before you see anything. They just suck. There's not really anything else out there within, you know, a budget, really. You've got all the dairies and stuff here that are on for the Maypole Farm, but again, these are all, I mean, they're expensive, right? They're expensive, so there's just, unfortunately, there's just nothing within range right now. Besides that carpentry, and I'd already talked about it, right? It barely holds in. I mean, I could put one tree there, and I would utilize that one tree for 7-8 months. So, I mean, it's not even really worth the money we're going to spend to put down, because we're not really going to be keeping it for that long. Because honestly, whenever we're done with this, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to be done with tree work for quite a while. I'm going to be probably pretty fed up with doing tree work, at least for a while. But the nice thing here is that, you know, we're at $75,000 right now, which is, it's a good amount of money. We made an upgrade to the tractor, right? We are making progress. Slow progress, but it is progress nonetheless. We still have a ways to go before this is going to be done. It's probably another episode, maybe 2, before we can truly say that we have, you know, completed removing all of the trees from this plot of land. But we're getting close. We are getting close. It is a long, long process, but we are getting much, much closer. We can see the end. We can see the barrier, the fence, whatever however you want to put it. We can see it. So it's not as much as you might think, but it is still a long, long way to go. Nonetheless, we are going to leave the episode at this point. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you smash that like and subscribe button. In the case you've yet to do so, they help me out an absolute ton. They're free. Check out my other channel. There's a link down below in the description. I'm currently doing a playthrough on Red Dead Redemption 2, which I never ever finished. Played it when it first came out. Something happened, I'm sure, in my life, and I never finished it. Didn't touch it since 2019. Early 2019. So we're playing through that now, so if that's something that interests you, maybe give that a check if you want. There's a link for my other one down below. Thank you to my members. Cannot thank them enough as well. There's a link down there for that. If you're interested, get early access to videos like this one, including the competitive one-tile challenge. Discord's down there. Everything you need, as I've always mentioned, it's always down below in the description for you. Let me know your thoughts. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much for your support. I'll see you next time.